What's up, people? Happy Wednesday. I'm a few days behind on my AskCamari questions. For anybody who's just seeing this and I'm popping up into your timeline, my name is Kamari Ellis. I'm an investment and tax advisor, and I love answering financial questions on Facebook. Today I got one from Twitter. And actually, let me apologize because I'm actually behind on some questions. I got to think about how I'm going to do this. I might have to start grouping these together and doing them at a specific time during the day, or maybe do maybe like a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday kind of thing, or a couple of days a week. But today we're going to talk about money and finance, money and love and money, or finances and money. The question I got from Twitter was from a Nathan actually Tara Colquitt, the credit woman, introduced me to him on Twitter, and he asked me this question. So I'm a couple days delayed, but I'm getting to it now. So his question was, hey, he's getting married. Did I have any tips or any guidance for married folk or soon to be married folk? And I think I got this question before, and I did a video response for it. Hopefully, I'm not duplicating too much. But getting back to the question, what's my advice for a newlywed with money? I get this a lot, trick question. But I got about six points that I can cover. First one being talk about money. I find a lot of couples do not talk about money. They don't talk about money. And when I mean talk about money, I mean not superficial, like how much you make, not, I'm up for this promotion, but really like deep and depth, honest communication. A lot of people say that finances is the number one reason for divorce. I disagree with that. I say lack of communication is the number one reason for divorce. Because if you would have known everyone's relationship with money, how people feel about money, how they operate with money, what's their money story, and you got married, that means you accepted that person for who they are. So if you're getting divorced over money, and I'm not talking about anything drastic like drug use or substance abuse or anything like that, but usually I find it's a lack of communication when it comes to finances. So it's not money per se, it's finances. So, but talk about money. Does a person have a lot of student loans? Do they have credit cards? Do they have ambitions of starting a business? Do they have ambitions of possibly going back to school? What are their ultimate dreams? I find a lot of times people don't talk about that. And listen, don't keep secrets. I know a lot of people got stash money tucked away on the side, especially a lot of you ladies got a little mad money on the side just in case you get mad at your spouse and you say, listen, it's time to be out and I'm going to go when I need to go. And I'm not mad at that, but if you have secrets, what else are you hiding from your partner? So if you have secrets about money, what else are you hiding from your partner? Number two, so that was number one, talk about money, right? Number two, create an emergency fund. In the book, The Wealthiest Man in Babylon, it says to make slaves of your money. Make slaves of your money. And in order to make slaves of your money, you got to pay yourself first. So don't pay your cable bill, your cell phone bill, your car note first. Pay yourself first. Now, I'm assuming most people watching this have a job. They have regular income coming in. So just take 10% of your net pay and put that off to the side. Put it into account. A lot of times I hide money from myself. Sometimes I'll sit money around the house, I'll put it somewhere and I forget where it is. It's a form of savings because I'm usually putting it aside for something that has a purpose. and I'll forget about it. But put at least 10% away. Whether it's fake, whether it's hiding money from yourself or intentionally putting it into a savings account. Put some money away. Now, your emergency fund, you hear a lot of different rationale for this. You hear 3 months of expenses. You hear 6 months of expenses. I say you should have a year of revenue or a year of your salary set aside. And the reason I say that is even if you lose your job, you're still going to be living the same lifestyle. So if you go out a couple of times a week and you eat out a couple of times a week, just because you lost your job a lot of times, you're not going to change that habit. Now, I know a year, if you make $50,000 plus a year, that's the average income of an American. That might be a little bit daunting. But listen, let's start slow, start steady. If you don't have anything put aside, let's work on getting our first $1,000 put away. And you can do that if you got to do $25 a paycheck, $100 a paycheck, whatever it is. But just make sure you're consistent with it and you build a savings habit with that. So again, create an emergency fund. Number 3, make sure you have adequate life insurance. You two are now coupled together. You are walking through life together, hand in hand. You're on a journey together. This is your loved one. So when you're not there, you still need to provide for them. You still need to make sure that they're cool, that they're okay, that they will be able to continue on in a lifestyle that the two of you have built together. I can't tell you how many times I talk to people, especially a lot of the fellas, that say they're not going to leave no life insurance money for their wife or their spouse because they don't want their wife or their spouse bringing another man into the situation or leaving their wife or their spouse enough money to go buy a pink Cadillac. It's all crazy to me, but I get it. A lot of times we human beings in general have a hard time dealing with death, dealing with mortality. It's hard for us to deal with the end. So I get it. But listen, I've talked about this a couple of times before. I'm going to continue to talk about it. I encourage you to talk about it with people, especially people that are married or either in long-term relationships, especially people who are married in long-term relationship with children, especially with people who are single parents, mother or father. They need to have adequate life insurance. All right? So that's number 4. I'm sorry, that was number 3. Number 4, check your beneficiaries. So you get married, there's so many stories of people that have gotten married and never changed their beneficiary forms. Listen, whoever is listed on your beneficiary form, for whether it be your IRA, pension, 401k, life insurance, that's who gets the money. It doesn't matter who's in your will. It doesn't matter if you're married or not married. It doesn't matter if you're divorced, separated, or estranged. It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is whose name is on that document, that beneficiary designation line. That's all that matters. So if you know anybody that just got married, share this with them. Here's a quick story. Man got married to his wife, was married for over 30 years. Wife dies. They built a life together. They had children together. The wife never changed her beneficiary form before she was married. She left everything to her sister. So in her pension, the sister got over $500,000. So a lot of people say, hey, well, the sister would give the money to the husband so he can give it to the kids, take care of the kids. No, sirree, Bob. She kept all that money. She kept it all to herself. So people get funny when it comes to money. Again, people get funny when it comes to money. I think that's a tweetable right there. But don't overestimate anything. Don't try to think. You never know what a person's intentions are going to be. So if your parents, your sisters, your siblings, your family, your friend, or whatever, just make sure your documents are in line. Make sure that they're doing what you want your wishes to be done if you are no longer here to represent yourself. Because once you're gone, it's done. All right. Number 5, staying along that same vein of once you're here to no longer represent yourself, your estate documents. So your will, living will, power of attorneys, make sure all those things are in line. Again, this is for a newlywed couple, some of the things they should be thinking about and doing. So make sure you got a will. A lot of people in our community have broken homes. We should definitely have estate documents. A lot of times we're dealing with children, custody, monies. It's crazy. You know, I tell people sometimes, going back to the life insurance piece, some of the fellas that they want to leave life insurance to in their children's name who are minors. So you're not supposed to leave life insurance to a minor. Now, I tell them, I say, you can do that, and if it slips through the crack, a judge is going to say, well, the surviving guardian has control of that money. So basically, your baby mama may have control of that money. And a lot of them, they don't like that idea. So same thing goes for your estate documents. Make sure you, hey Clarice, make sure you have everything in order. Make sure you have things in order for where you want them to go if you are no longer here. If you have estranged relationships with your spouse and you want money to go to your mom or your children, make provisions for that to happen well in advance. All right. Number six is see a financial planner. I say see a financial planner, and not being self-serving to me, doesn't have to be me. This be somebody that you know, like, and trust. Trust being the biggest one. But you want an objective voice to be in the room when you and your spouse are talking about money, especially when you're starting to get on the same page. Now, you should have been talking about money long before you got married, long before you jumped the broom, long before you walked down the aisle. But it's also good to get a financial planner in place before you make all those decisions. Why? Because a financial planner is objective, or they should be objective. They don't have any dog in the fight. They're not necessarily going to be compensated anymore either way. And normally what happens is the financial advisor is able to kind of see the objective path, keep the conversation productive conversations, because it should be a series of conversations. Keep the conversations productive and keep them moving forward. So, a lot of times some people don't want to, let's say, have joint accounts. A financial advisor can kind of shape and mold that conversation. So you kind of uncover why maybe a person doesn't want to have a joint account, because I know that comes up a lot. A lot of people have the mentality of what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. I see it all the time. I see a lot of spouses who have no idea how much money their other spouse makes. They have no idea if their other spouse has life insurance, disability insurance. I have no idea how much money they have saved. I have no idea what their credit situation looks like. I ain't talking about the score, but just overall debt. Student loan debt, credit card debt, car loan debt, mortgage, things like that. So, again, I'm going back to principle number 1, talk about money. Get on the same path with money. I think that's the most important one. That's why I'm listed first. Again, like, comment, and share. Especially like, comment, and share to those who are newly married or thinking about getting married, because this might just save their marriage.